What's the motherfucking deal, Sauce Nation? Welcome to Sauce Sports. And if you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network. So that means we're talking all sports, but only Houston. So with that being said, let me get there we go. Look a little bit better like that. With that being said, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about some things that have taken place around the city. Man, there's been a bunch of cuts going on with the Texans. I know y'all got some sauce y'all going to want to splash. It's fucking Friday, so I know I need to know what y'all talking about. If you look, if your boss getting on your nerves, your teacher getting on your nerves, your significant other getting on your nerves, you got a dog like Scotty and he getting on your motherfucking nerves, you know what I'm saying? Just whatever may be shaking, if you a PlayStation player, because PlayStation ain't with the shit, it's getting on your nerves, because PlayStation Network sucks, it's inferior, but if it's getting on your nerves, whatever's on your mind, you know what I'm saying, make sure you drop that in the chat, drop a little fuck you to whatever's going down, and we'll definitely cover that. But man, like I say, we got the round in the table, we got a shortened and condensed round table in the mix, but who we got in the mix with us tonight?
We got Toxic City Tinny, baby.
Already.
That's your boy Third Sports TV, winking the bill.
Already. What's the motherfucking deal? So like I say, man, we're going to get into it, man. But before we get into some of the important names that got cut, before we get into some of the former Texans veterans who are no longer with us, we got to talk about the most important topic in the city right now, and that is you, Sauce Nation. Hey, if you don't know how this goes, we're going to get into the Sauce Nation roll call, man. And that means if you are from the city, shout out your side with pride. If you're not from the city, then let us know. We'll send a little bit of that digital love because, hey, man, you ain't got to be just from H-Town. If you don't know what the city is H-Town, Houston, the Bayou City, Space City, you know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. But let us know what's in that love, man, because if you fucking with the flavor, man, you fucking with the sauce, all kind of flavors that make this sauce so good. But you guys are the freshest motherfucking ingredients, so let's see what we got up in here. And let's get this thing started up first. Let me drop out a little sauce for whoever in the mix, Today is the last day for you to win the Sauce Sports mug, and if you don't have a chance at winning it, you better hit that link on the Zazzle description, in the description down below for the Zazzle link, because this will be the last day you'll be able to buy that mug. And I got my mug off to the side. I can't even reach it, but I'm going to showcase it here in a second. So let's see what we got in the mix, man. Kenneth. Goddamn, Kenny. Kenneth, what's the motherfucking deal? T-Mac D. Pritchard, what's the motherfucking deal? Miss Voodoo, see, I already know I can count on Miss Voodoo. See, she going to hold it down. That's the most reliable mod we got. Miss Voodoo going to hold it down. J-Pac, what's the motherfucking deal? Mr. Asian Pikachu, Lorenzo Wilson. Zach, how you feeling about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys, Zach? It was just a preseason game. We'll take every victory we get because we're going to do it again during the season. Luis Portillo, Devontae Love, Ferocious Film, what's the motherfucking deal? DeMarquise Johnson, Max Vasquez, Heidi Flower Plants, Klein Dentist. What's the motherfucking deal? Clutch Gaming. I forget. Yeah, finally got rid of Anderson. Shout out to I forget for reminding that. That was just a great feeling last night. I thought y'all was lying to me on stream last night when y'all said we traded Anderson. Boy, that was a lovely feeling. I'm glad we finally got rid of that. Jimmy R, Houston B, Joshua Jaja, Days Jizzle. What's the motherfucking deal? The Cool Amber, Houston B. I might have said it twice, but hey, twice is nice. Let's see. Jesus Olivio, Dewey Harris, Eric Laura, Balin Rios, what's the motherfucking deal? Malik Nelson, what's the motherfucking deal? Man, good to see all y'all. 335, what's the motherfucking deal? Homer, what's the motherfucking deal? Victor, OG77013, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Make sure I ain't forgetting nobody. D Wheel 68, what's the motherfucking deal? RP to the last white runner, you already know. Leonard Avery representing the Fofo already. H-Town. Let's see, East Side holding it down. Jersey Village holding it down already. San Marcos, Brownsville. Okay, we all over the state. Horham Clark holding it down. SWAT in the mix. Mo City already. Canadian. Humble Text, the slum, where you don't want none. You know what I'm saying? I see a fuck the Jags and the Cowboys already. Somebody say, went got the fresh slappy, got the fresh fade. Say fuck Xbox. Why you hating on the box, man? The box is where it said you just mad. You know what I'm saying? Xfinity getting up. Yeah, fuck Xfinity. Y'all know the problems that we be having with Xfinity. Devontae Love say the toothache. Fuck the toothache. Toothache getting on your nerves. Fuck geometry. Nah, don't fuck geometry, man. Look, get your mathematicals correct, man. You gonna need that every day in your life, even though you don't ever go use that shit. But you better learn that shit anyway. Fuck Brian Gain. Good grief. Jack Triple SWAT, motherfucking Three's Company, what's the deal? See, did I catch Little David King 88, Chase King, what's the motherfucking deal? Anthony Washington, Eastside Hero, Leo Garcia, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's make sure I show all this love before we dive in, because we got plenty to talk about tonight. Dre Day, the God, what's the motherfucking deal? Stephon Jones, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Who got a $15 million contract? Because as far as I see, the one I saw was 12, and I don't know about old buddy. But then again, we got Anderson to take a little bit less money when he left, so that's cool. T-Real, what's the motherfucking deal? Pearland in the house already. You know, whoever got those pants is the scammer, Heidi. Got the juice. What's the motherfucking deal? I didn't see you, man. My fault. I ain't see you, man. It wasn't nothing deliberate. No mamas. What's the motherfucking deal? I think she'll be GTO2. What's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Emmanuel Garflow. What's the motherfucker? Look, let me say Garfield. My fault. What's the motherfucking deal? I'm trying to look. I ain't trying to do nobody deliberately, but let's get into it. And if I missed you, trust me, we'll catch you. I'll make sure I get you some love. Edwin by, that's another one. That's a Chiesa. Okay, I was like, I hope I said that right. If I didn't, hey, it was not deliberate. Man. Lot of cuts, lot of names that we've been talking about, off and on during the preseason, off and on during the off season. I mean, just a lot of names to discuss. So I want to know, first and foremost, I know people may have been surprised, but I don't think it should be anything to be surprised about, because I think we've talked about this in length a couple of times, a few days in a row. I know a lot of people were upset by the Shane Lechler situation, but I think that was almost apparent last night, because Lechler kind of said some things, I believe it was a post-game interview, and kind of made it seem like maybe he might have knew already that it was going to be a wrap for him. And then again, he kind of got out-kicked last night for the most part, except for maybe one of those kicks. On average, he was out-punted last evening. So Trevor Daniel ends up taking the spot over Shane Lechler. So we've gotten younger and cheaper, and I think you have your punter of the future. Because my thing is this: as much as we like Shane Lechler, been a Texan for 5 years, dude's 42 years old. Who knows how much longer he's going to be a part of the game? And I mean, he could just wake up tomorrow and say, "My old lady said, man, she tired of doing this shit. We want to go to our little country house somewhere in the middle of Texas so I can fish. I can take my Gander Mountain gift card that Tenny got me. You know what I'm saying? And go do my thing." So I think that's pretty interesting. But I want to know in the chat, and then I want to know, again, from the round table, I want to know what y'all think the biggest name that we lost was. We'll start with Tenny, then we'll hop on Wink. And out of everybody who's got cuts so far, and I'm sure there's still some other cuts that need to be made, the one name that you thought was the biggest, because we're going to address everybody, but I want to know who you thought was the biggest name that got cut today, Tenny.
Well, I mean, you got to go with the biggest name. So Shane Lechler is the biggest name. I think his name really started catching fire these last 3-4 days, at least going into this week. So, I mean, he's the biggest name that got cut. I think the most surprising from the preseason would probably be Braxton Miller. Because Braxton Miller, I'm not going to lie, I said at the beginning of our podcast, at the beginning of our videos, when preseason started, I said Braxton Miller has to step it up or he's gone. And in my eyes, he actually stepped it up. So, I mean, I was a little taken back by that one. I'm like, okay, if he's cut, who else is cut? And so far, like, it's a lot of guys that you're used to. I think one of the cuts that I'm most upset by is Kai's. I hate to see him go over fucking Brian Peters, bum ass. Because Brian Peters doesn't bring us anything. If somebody goes down on that inside linebacker spot, Brian Peters is not going to step in and fill any void. I mean, he can't even fit the same shoes as these guys. So, I mean, that's how I feel about it.
I agree with you on that one. Because Kai's definitely showed some flashes and showed some potential. Man, Wink, what do you think was the biggest name or biggest surprise cut that we've heard so far today?
Honestly, the fact that Satchery was cut before Corey Moore is almost as egregious as any cut because he should have made it on the back end for the corner spot. Honestly, I mean, I feel like he made plays. He showed up enough. He had some good angles, and I could tell, like, had he played longer, he could have cleaned up some shit with Romeo Cornell and could have been, like, good. He was getting his head around and shit like that. I was like, he was doing shit that Kevin Johnson wasn't, like, simple shit that Kevin Johnson hadn't been able to do. So that was kind of a weird cut for me. I really, like, if it didn't hit home that we're going to keep, like, 6 corners was when we ended up couldn't do, 2 of the safeties we had. Okay, we cut Day Cool. It's unfortunate. We raved about him. And honestly, I believe the cut from corner to safety is why he was cut. I mean, like, he didn't even get significant time to prove anything to anybody. He didn't get to do anything, really. But, I guess they really wanted to see what they had in guys like D Virgin, if this was going to be his last time. And they probably was like, look, this is your last time here. We going to give you all the time, and we shouldn't on another play in the process to give in. You proved us wrong. Who's to know? That could have happened. That situation could have very well happened. But, a lot of guys is getting cut. Like, the fact that, like, Kendall Lamb ain't cut, that's what I'm more concerned about. Like, why in the fuck is he still on the roster right now? Because of a PFF grade? Like, are we being serious? Or why are they duping people into believing that this man is good off of what PFF is saying? Because that's essentially why they keep him. Like, it don't make no sense to me. Why is he still on the roster? He's been horrible.
That blows my mind also, and that's definitely something that I want to get into, to segue into next. We'll be talking about a lot of these cuts, and trust me, there's plenty more to talk about. We got a lot of guys that we're going to address, but I want to speak on a couple of names that, why are they still on? But actually, before we get on that, I do want to cover a couple other names, because there's a few guys, and I think that some of these cuts are a sign of the changing times around here. Prosh getting cut tells me that they're starting to look to go in a different direction with this offense. They're actually getting smarter, instead of doing the stupid thing, which is, and I think it took them a little bit of learning last year, because I think they slightly attempted to do it last year, was trying to plug, a quarterback into a system instead of building a team around the quarterback position. So now I think what they've been doing is getting rid of guys that they know that they aren't going to utilize in this system that they plan on running for Watson. So this tells me that Bill O'Brien is actually trying to do something different. We didn't really see Prosh get utilized a lot today. Some of the cuts on the defensive side tell me that, Rack has a little bit of a plan as to what he's going to try to do. I saw somebody mention that, with some of the safety cuts. And then also somebody mentioned, so I think our order dialogue said, why waste that pick on Dakota if you're not going to develop him? And I think that was something that we kind of should have known from the jump, that he's a developmental guy. He wasn't ready out the gate coming in. And then, 1 year you got him at corner, and the situation being in, the Pac-12 with the way they do it. And, he came in late from school, didn't really get a chance to get off on the right foot. And then, this year changing positions also kind of put him, behind the 8 ball. So I feel like it's very unfortunate for him. Hopefully he gets a shot somewhere else. Somebody's willing to give him a shot. You guys have mentioned Tony Chachere's, Andre Chachere, and I think that I see that a lot of people talking about he should end up on the practice squad. And that's something they did say, that they would like to put him on the practice squad, but I guess they don't just see a roster spot for him, because I think he's a guy that could definitely develop, and I think develop quickly to be an asset for this team, because he was relatively consistent throughout the playoffs, but I guess they just didn't see enough. But again, they end up cutting Virgin, which was surprising, because he was one of the later cuts. I thought they were almost going to keep him just from some of the off and on performances that he's had throughout the preseason. But I think that when he gets beat a little bit too badly. Yeah, he made a couple of plays last night, but, just being a hitter doesn't qualify you as a good corner. So, I don't know what the situation will be with him. I don't know if they intend on bringing him back or not. But I kind of want to know what you guys think about, when they got rid of some of the guys like DQ, they got rid of Prosh, some of these guys on offense, what does that tell you about what the Texans are trying to do with this team moving forward into the future? And do you see them really bringing something different to the field, and are they catering to Deshaun's strengths by, opening up some additional roster spots for positions that we're no longer using? We'll start with Wink, and then we'll get Tenny's thoughts on that one.
I think they realized, and I think they had more than enough game film to realize that Jay Prosh cannot lead block. it's crazy to know that we had just talked about him previous, before this, and I had brought up like weeks ago, like on Texas Live, like, man, this man is not gonna make the roster. You cannot justify any reason, and they realize what we're saying. You can't justify a reason. The man got 19% of the snaps last year. Like, how can you do that? And they just realized, like, you can't lead block like you should. They had holes and shit that was wide open. It's just like he's had this problem. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't just start. It's been happening for quite some time now. But it's just like, it is what it is. And I'm glad that's a move. I'm glad happened. Just like when Trevor Daniel took Leckler's spot. I was glad that happened. Like, we had just talked about that recently, and it just so happened. Listen, we just talked about this shit, and it's like this shit happening. Man, like, these guys, like Trevor Daniel, deserved to be on this team. Like, the fact that he just walked on in Tennessee, came on, we undrafted this man, and he just put the all-time punter to shame. Like, literally. He literally just sat him on the couch for maybe the rest of his career. Maybe it's over after today. We don't know that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to be surprised if it does. Like, he's done more than enough. He's more than accomplished. Like, have a great career.
And we'll get to Tenny's thoughts on that. But first, I want to say, I see Balin asking, they're talking about Ellington being on the brink because he just got a new contract. Shit, they just re-signed Corey Moore, and Corey Moore got cut. They just signed him to a new little deal, and she got the snip. So, he got to take a trip, and that's unfortunate. But Tenny, your thoughts on the moves that they've made and how it's affecting, or how do you see it, affecting this Texans roster and the decisions that they're making, in the near future?
Anybody that was defending fucking Jay Prosh, I want y'all to get down and eat some crow right now, because the moment that I saw him miss that fucking wide open ass tackle when he was standing face to face with the punt returner and he cuts him up the middle and totally whiffs the tackle, I'm so glad that they cut him. And it just means too, like, him being cut gives you your fourth running back. For everybody that was like, oh, they're not going to cut Tyler Ervin and this and that. If he's cut, then Tyler Ervin's got a shot at this team. That's what that means. If he's cut, that means guys with real talent outside of fucking shitty-ass Tyler Ervin and what he's given us this preseason. Blackson. You're looking at Blackson, Watkins. I forget who else is right there behind that defensive line. We could end up keeping 7 or 8 defensive linemen this year. Like, that would be crazy. And I wouldn't be against it because they're just so damn talented. And if we're unlucky and we go through another fucking injury year, that's going to keep us safe up the middle. Ain't nobody going to be running up the middle on us. We're fucking deep and thick at it. So, I mean, looking at these cuts, I mean, I told y'all, was it preseason game 2? I told y'all, get ready for the heartbreak with DQ. DQ was leaving. I told y'all that this organization was not looking to keep him. He wasn't getting the kind of play time that he needed. And quite honestly, they were moving him from tackle to guard, and he ended up finding a little bitty home at guard, and he just couldn't pan out. And I saw it just coming like a fucking freight train from a mile away. So this team's direction, I feel good with them cutting loose players like Jay Prosh and making a wise decision and not standing next to a guy like Leckler. Leckler, I mean, he's going off of one year contracts after another, 1 year after another. And we actually got a young rookie with talent that we can end up locking up. And this dude, Trevor Daniel, could end up being our punter for like the next 12, 15 years. So, I mean, this is like one of the smartest investments that the Texans have ever made. And I'm feeling proud of this team, but at the same time, there's some spots that I wish they would have taken more time and waited till tomorrow to make some cuts.
Yeah, I could agree with that. But, I definitely was a few shocking pieces, and DQ, I didn't think he was going to be, even though he looked decent last night. He was opening up some holes. We kind of spoke of that a little bit on the post game, and how you just mentioned, opening up room for additional running backs and or other positions, because they end up letting go of Swanson, and I thought Swanson had finally had a nice showing yesterday evening, but maybe that doesn't translate. Maybe they saw some more of him, during practice, maybe during joint practice and things. Maybe they just didn't like what they saw. Raw didn't feel, that he was going to be an immediate contributor. But the thing is that I believe they said he would be a guy that they would try to bring back too. So now I kind of want to talk about some of the guys that are still here, a few of the names that are still on this roster. Some of them are questionable. Some of them I don't know if they really made that big of a name for themselves. And I see some people saying, that Gain wanted to get a lot of guys out of here because he wanted to get Rick Smith's developmental guys out of here and bring his own developmental talent in. And, of course, because Deshaun Watson is a Rick Smith guy, so he ain't finna get rid of him. Okay, Ashbel claiming his crow. Okay, he said that he would keep Pross, so he said give him the crow. You know what I'm saying? Look, I gotta bring the other old crow back up. So, but okay, I give you that for owning up to it. You know what I'm saying? Pross did get the axe. They did get rid of him. So
Oh, and since he here, I'm gonna give him his props on what he was talking on. One of the things that we was talking about, he tried to take credit for something else that only one of the things that he said got done in this particular thing. He know what I'm talking about. But what he said about the honey badger, he said he kind of put it in a. It's kind of sketchy, like how it's put together though. Like it wouldn't like. I'm not gonna get into it, but either way, the man got his shit. He called this particular move. So I said I was gonna shout him out. Good shit, Ashmill. You got that one, but you like, you know what you are right now in the argument. So I'm saying I'm gonna give you your props when I'm doing my shit out here, which and you owned up to your J Pro shit. Good shit. You man of your word too.
Tell him ass.
We
tell him ass man with the two S's.
Because we even now. Like I don't want you got one, I got one.
Crow for crow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what it is. Respect. I respect what you do.
Swaffalo? Is he playing well?
Because at the end of the day, we got the same objective.
Oh man, I heard Suafilo looking like a garbage can out there as expected. But like I said, I think he's still with Tennessee, ain't he? Or did he get cut from Tennessee? He ended up going to Tennessee. But like I said, I want to talk about strange cut survivors for the Texans, and there's a couple of names, and one was mentioned earlier, Lamb.
Released from other teams.
Okay, appreciate the love. As a matter of fact, appreciate the love, Ashmel, Eastside Herald, and Game Changer. Appreciate the super chat, super saucy love. I haven't really had a chance to look at some of the other teams that's being released, and I think that is why some of these names that may have been on the brink are getting released, because we're picking fourth on the waivers, so we're going to have a chance to analyze a lot of talent that's going to be falling off a lot of other teams. But talking about the strangest cut survivors, it's three names in particular that I want to speak on, and if you guys have another one that's on your mind, let me know definitely. But Lamb, first and foremost, because Lamb is hot garbage. If I speak a little French, he's hot garbage. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand what it is. I don't know what kind of pictures he got of Bob McNair. I don't know what he got of Cal McNair. I don't know what he got going on that he just, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? If I ain't afraid to twerk on my own Instagram, I'll put y'all out there too.
Bet.
Okay. Otis Hill say Lamb gonna be cut. I hope so. I hope they just trying to see if it's some other tackle talent out there. Because if not, man, I don't like the direction that this shit is going in. Then Tyler Ervin has still survived a little bit. I felt like Tyler Ervin hasn't had a very good showing at running back or as a returner. And they said that was kind of the thing that put Braxton Miller on the other end, is because he really did not have a good look on special teams. And so I guess that tells me that this Texas team is definitely taking special teams extremely seriously this year. And what's his name, Sealy, I guess I like that approach, because that's where we have had a little bit of an issue, because special teams is the biggest exchange of yards at any point during the game. I mean, consistent exchange of yards. So you have to you have to shore that up, because we've taken a lot of L's in that category over the years. And then Braxton Miller being cut, but a receiver name that's being left behind is one Vincent Smith. And I'm wondering if it's the height speed factor that they're liking about him. I'm wondering if those late game heroics with Webb or showing him something. They're figuring, well, hey, if he can do that with Webb, then imagine what we can get him and Watson to maybe connect and do. So I don't know if that's something that they're looking at. I think there's a couple of interesting things to think about with that. Now, we'll start with Tenny, and I want to know your thoughts on these guys in particular, or if there's somebody else that you realize that's still on this team that you thought may have been cut or could possibly still be a cut tomorrow when, you know, the deadline is up. I'd like to know your thoughts on that one.
I think I agree with everybody. Lamb is trash. Fuck that dude. Like, seriously, his face looks like he was drawn from Peanuts' fucking Sunday column. Like, seriously, dude. Fucking, this dude can't play the position. He's constantly getting bullied every time he's on the line. And the worst part, too, is he can't even play a clean game. He can't even fucking, like, work on his penalties that he's getting called for. Tyler Ervin totally didn't deserve a day one pass. He needed that cut because, quite honestly, when you saw him go in there for punt return or kick return, he wasn't doing shit. I mean, he wasn't gaining anything. The smartest thing he did was call fair catches. Like, that was the most positive thing I saw out of him. Vincent Smith, I guess I got to go with you on that one, man. It's got to be the size and the speed that he got. I mean, they're looking to probably keep outside guys more than slot guys. I think they feel fine with getting away with Ellington and Kiki this year. I would have rather kept Braxton Miller, but I saw some arguments for him not contributing on special teams. So I get it, but I'm kind of tired of that excuse. They're beating a dead horse every time they say that. We're keeping a guy for fucking special teams. Well, if you keep a talented guy, like Wink said earlier while we was talking about prior to coming in here, you keep talented guys, they're going to make the special teams look good because they're talented. They will find their way to the ball. They will find ways to make plays. That's what talented guys do. And I got to say, Braxton Miller stepped it up this year. But I think one of the guys that are like on my outside, like the dude I'm shocked, is Johnson Bandamosi. This motherfucker, I swear to God, chat room, number 20 is going to be a headache creator for us this year. Every time you fucking look up and there's a fucking flag in the secondary, you're going to see number 20 next to that shit, and he's going to be called out for some stupid shit. He's going to be called out for fucking holding, not turning around to look at the ball, which is going to create a fucking pass interference call. I mean, I'm telling you right now, Johnson Bandamosi is not a good cornerback. I would love to keep fucking Tony Chachary, a.k.a. Andre Chachary, his given name, but I call him Tony. I'm telling you right now, Tony Chachary, if he can make it through waivers, make it through everything, and get back on this practice squad, he's going to be a contributor as soon as we need him. I guarantee it. I will put my name to it. This dude flashed, man. The last time I seen a player flash like that was the fact, or just when AJ Boye first started here. And not a lot of you motherfuckers know this, but AJ Boye shut down fucking Megatron back before he had a name, when he was wearing number 32 or some shit. So, I mean, keep that in mind.
34.
Number 34. There you go. So anybody that tries to argue that fact, motherfucking, I'm telling you, Tony Chachary, aka Andre, y'all know him as Andre. He's my best friend. I call him Tony. He's going to be back on this team if he gets on the practice squad.
Wink, man, your thoughts on, you know, these guys? Like I said, we talked about Lamb, Irvin, Smith, and, you know, who's on this team still that you are surprised that is still available?
All three are Lamb. Every last one of them is Lamb. Like, all three spots I could think of is Lamb. Like, why in the fuck is he still here? A PFF grade? Like, is that the real reason he's here? Like, this is a real question that needs to be asked, because game film does not justify him still being on this fucking football team. He was getting blown the fuck up. Like, dude was getting shoved, speed rush, bull rush. It didn't matter. You didn't even have to be talented to get past
Hashtag
him.
MMFW. Like, Texans beat Patriots
he can't
week
even learn
1,
well in practice from
2-7-1-3.
facing guys like J.J. Watt on a day-in, day-out basis. You've never heard nobody say, man, Kendall Lamb was out here dominating J.J. Even coming off an injury, he can't even do this. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't understand. Like, what's the fascination with Kendall Lamb? Like, he's done nothing. He could do nothing. I mean, they don't use him right, and he just doesn't fit the system. I'm not even sure exactly what he's good at. Like, can somebody point me in that direction? Like, can somebody unmute and please tell me, like, what does he honestly do well? Like, he doesn't have strength. He doesn't have any good moves to negate any attack. Like, damn, like, he sucks.
He looked up McNair's history. He talks Republican with him. He goes up there, I voted for Trump. And McNair's over there, oh, really? Come sit with me, sir.
Man, that very well could be the reason. Like seriously, that very well could be the reason. I mean, but who knows, bro? It's just like, this shit doesn't make any sense, bro. Like he honestly, Satchery y'all at least owed him the pleasure of at least getting cut tomorrow. Like, that was a hard sell. Like, if we're talking about D-Virgin did not outplay him, glad he got cut. And, it's good to see what we don't have in him. He showed us that he's not consistent enough. Okay, you did this against dudes like, come on, like, the Cowboys ain't talented anyway. Like, and honestly, you still had some troubles in that game. So if you having troubles in a fourth preseason game against Dallas backups who aren't even good to begin with anyway, then you obviously don't deserve to be on this team. And if that was they thinking, hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's what we need. We need that type of assessment. It's no need. And honestly, I feel like Corey Moore and guys like that, when they got cut, it only opened up roles for Blackson and Joel Heath. I immediately thought of them because I immediately thought, okay, boom, they doing that and they doing everything they can to keep 6 corners and 6 wide receivers. It's just looking that way. Regardless of even when they cut what's called, I immediately thought, okay, they're going to keep Vincent Smith. And sure enough, as I thought of that, I started seeing tweets like the
Texans
moment I
keep
thought
cutting
I
good
started seeing
developmental
tweets and all of
C-flat.
this little
Last
shit
year's
like
was
this on Twitter,
Denzel
and
Rice.
it's just like,
This year's it's Shashir.
the shit is just looking crazy because, like, a lot of guys deserve to be cut on the second day. And the fact that most of them got cut, like, you like, bro, like, they at least consider some consideration, but they didn't feel so. So what can I say?
Man, Wink, I'm so glad you brought up Joe Heath's name because after last night, if tomorrow I wake up and my phone has his name at the top with a fucking message that he's been cut, I swear to God, I'm going to Reliant. I'm going to NRG. I'm standing outside the fence screaming, "Fuck you, McNair! Fuck you, you fucking bitch! You ball sack looking motherfucker! You look like you ate dead skin, you bitch! You want a waffle and a pancake? You want to smoke it on pancakes?
Dead skin, god damn! Oh man, well, hold on one second. I'm mad, god damn. Damn. Well, damn. Scotty, get out of here, Scotty. Don't nobody want to talk to you. Scotty, you about to get cut. Scram, Scotty. Wow. Okay, let's know how you really feel about it. But man, so what I'm saying, okay, so like I say, looking at some of these guys that got cut, man, and again, we talked about Shashir, we've talked about some of these other guys. I kind of want to know who you guys feel will be eligible, who the Texans may consider bringing back to be practice squad guys, if they survive through waivers, and, who would be the, a couple of names that you would be hopeful will return. I know Shashir is probably the main one, but, outside of him, what other guys do you think would be very interesting names or guys that maybe should get brought back if things pan out favorably? We'll start with Wink, and then we'll get to Tenny on that one.
Pope deserved to be on this team. He deserved to be on this team.
Yeah,
he is. But hopefully, but who's to say he won't be a day 2 decision? We won't know. So I can assume both sides. But like, regardless, I'd want him to make this team. Like, he was explosive. It seemed like when you block a certain way, he can make a decision. Same thing for Alfred Blue. When Alfred Blue was in zone scheme position, and like when he was running and shit like that, he was so quick to like he doing jump cuts and shit, making dudes miss. I'm like, this ain't Alfred Blue. Like, for real, like Alfred Blue been running kind of like that long ass play he had hit to the outside and he ended up getting hawked. Bro, like, he reminded me of Foster on that play. I was like, nah, I know Foster ain't rubbing off like that. Like, that's just how I felt. Like, nah, like, now you want to start showing that? Like, bro, like, where you been at? Like, I could tell, like, he been watching a lot of Arian Foster film or some shit like that because the way he was cutting, was like, and the way he was able to make decisions, I'm like, man, this is exactly what he must have been looking at the whole hour. He must have reached out to him, or they worked out together, and he ain't let nobody know. And if he did, and that shit come out, it's just gonna be like just watching the game. You just know what he was running like, and he was running a lot like Aaron Foster, bro.
Tenny, your thoughts on somebody that you would be interested in hopefully being able to return back as a practice squad contributor?
Well, of course, my best friend Tony, a.k.a. Andre Sastry. He should get the number one spot. And I think to follow up on that one, I think something that put all of our hearts, or a smile on all our hearts, of course, getting DQ back. I don't know if he qualifies for it, but if we can get him back on the practice squad, that would be wonderful. Just because he knows this team, he knows what he's doing. And if, worst came to worst and we needed an offensive lineman this year, I know he could step in and be serviceable. As far as some of the other spots, man, Keys, I'd love to give him back. Like, seriously, like, I think having him to spell Cole, Cunningham, and fucking McKinney, I mean, the dude is just raw talent. Like, he passes the eye test. This guy, he's just fucking something else. I don't know if he qualifies for practice squad, but he fucking, God, dude, like, bringing that guy back would really help round out that middle linebacker spot. Like, we would be so fucking deep against the run. Nobody could run against us. Having a guy like that in place, along with the players we have, we would be a fucking dominant run defense for the next 4 to 5 years. Easy. Outside of that, there's not a whole lot of other people I would like to see back. D Virgin, we took the flyer on him. We took him to the playground and we saw what he could do, and I don't believe in him. I think he's at the peak of his talent, and he'll never get better.
My fault, y'all. I have to apologize because I had left the sauce line. Now I knew I was getting something. Like, something ain't right. I got it ready way too soon. Something was out of whack, so I had to go retrieve that. And I'll put the number up for those of you who are new, and I'll read a couple of texts that we have. I'm gonna say they see all pro potential in Lamb. Yeah, I don't know. All I see is all that bathroom twerking bullshit he be doing. That's not the personality that I want from somebody out there protecting my quarterback, or that I would like to be protecting the Texans quarterback. He might be doing both. Who knows with that motherfucker? Okay, shout out to this shit. Shout out to Chandler, man. Says anything on Kendall Lamb. Shout out to the roundtable Honcho. Tenny Wink said, I'm predicting Kareem Jackson and Kendall Lamb might get cut. I also think Kevin Johnson might get cut too. I don't think they're going to go in. I think they like what Kareem is doing. Kareem has actually been looking very solid at safety. So I think that he's going to be around. I'm hoping Kendall Lamb gets cut. Lamb chop. Y'all like what I did there? I think I covered some. Y'all know I like the corny jokes. Fuck y'all if y'all ain't laughed. That shit was good. And Kevin Johnson, they went ahead, they extended that. I don't think that they're going to give up on him just yet. Because my thing with Kevin Johnson is this, man. Kevin Johnson has had a bad string of luck. But if Kevin Johnson can show you, and he can actually play consistently at that potential that we saw kind of around that rookie year before the injuries really started piling up, he is a serviceable to solid cornerback. But it's the injuries, it's the mentality. And then I think even last year when he got back, playing under Vrabel, everybody looked lackluster in my opinion. So as long as he can stop from the head first tackles and diving into the ground, I think that Kevin Johnson could be all right. I don't think it'll be as bad as we think because he's got speed. He's a little bit lanky, but
he's like 1 or 2 injuries away from being that guy you run into at like the stop and go with the fish hook on his hat telling you about how he used to be a football player and he used to play.
Yeah, damn. I hope he don't go down that route. Zach, I know that you would love to hear that. I'm not even going to read that text because that text that you just sent is blasphemous. Okay, so I'm not even going to listen to your shenanigans because your whole team needs to be cut. I don't even know why the Cowboys even still exist after that performance. Y'all, what's going on with y'all, man? Because y'all ain't even scored a touchdown in the last few preseason games, and it's not like Dak hasn't played. So why are you guys not getting into the end zone? I need to know what the trouble is with the Cowboys. You can let me know what's going on with that, Zach. I'd greatly appreciate it because I'm not going to waste my time doing any research on them because
policy. I mean, he getting his plays from Jerry, and Jerry don't know what the fuck he doing about football.
Shit, Dez was the only one who held him to any kind of standard.
Mm-hmm. All right, and we'll open up the line here just shortly, probably about 5 minutes. We'll open up the sauce line so you can call it. I see that we've had a couple of calls, but as far as looking at some of these, like I say, practice squad hopefuls, my opinion, my thoughts, I'd like to see Swanson come back. I'd definitely like to see Shashery come back because I think that Shashery could be nice. Swanson could be serviceable just in case, Pope's not the biggest guy. I don't know what again, my thing with Swanson was I don't know what his hands are like as far as, can he catch well out the backfield, kind of that situation. Coleman, he got the apple but not the roadmap because they want him to get lost. They don't want him to find his way back to Houston anytime. Then I think it was a wrap for him when he was out there scuffling with Webb in the backfield. Now, I've heard a lot of controversy about the QB situation. Okay, I've heard people saying Webb should be cut and they should look for somebody else. I heard Hackenberg's out there. Should we look at him? Which is awful. Y'all just want to go backwards. And then I've heard Webb should be the number 2 guy and Whedon should be number 3. So I kind of want to know y'all's thoughts, your opinion in the chat. Like I said, anytime I ask a question to the round table, I want to know what y'all feel too because I'm saying when I can, I check the comments and I will share very interesting comments that I see. I want to know how y'all feel. We'll start with Tenny. What is the backup QB situation looking like after this preseason? And do you feel like should we be looking for an outside QB or should we be confident in what we have going into the season?
Look, I'm going to put it like this. Deshaun Watson is so good. There is not a mid-level backup quarterback that you could have on the team that services an option behind him. I mean, look at Green Bay, and I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson has done anything like Aaron Rodgers has, but when Aaron Rodgers went down, fucking Brett Hundley was a complete drop-off in talent of what they saw on their team on a regular basis. And it's the same thing with Deshaun Watson. After Deshaun Watson, it is a complete drop-off. I mean, that's your give and take as far as NFL goes. Don't tell me anything else. Don't bring up anybody else because, motherfucker, I'm going to tell you what. If you're comparing a starting quarterback to his backup quarterback, he is not a good starting quarterback, all right? Just shut the fuck up with that shit. Don't even start that argument. Now, as far as it goes, Whedon knows the system. Webb performs in the system. That's what we got going on here.
Yeah.
Whedon understands it. Webb can make it work. And that's the situation that we're in. And Webb, for all y'all want to fucking hate on him, he's willing to put his body out there in the line. I don't know. I haven't even fucking heard of a single quarterback in the history of this game that wants to go out there on kickoffs and fucking put his body in risk and hit somebody. Like, this dude is willing to play the game wholeheartedly, fucking body and soul into this shit. And anybody out there hating on him is just a bitch to hate. I mean, if you don't like it, you get upset about my words, catch me outside. How about that? I mean, come on.
Look, he said that, meant that, represent that. You're going to have to smell his cologne. You know what I'm saying? I see some folks, man, a very interesting note, and then I'm going to get your opinions on this one, Wink, but a very interesting note. Old buddy, who used to be a Texan is now the backup QB in Carolina, the Heineken. Taylor had the dude who had like one play as a Texan, then almost died. I think he had the concussion situation or whatever. Was actually looking pretty decent as a backup out there. I want to say I didn't catch him yesterday, but I know the other day he came out as a backup. He looked pretty decent, had a touchdown, and had made a couple little plays. Thought that was extremely interesting. And why wasn't he able to thrive here? Or maybe sometimes I guess it could be a system in how it fits or whatever it may be. Because again, it could be that experience. Who knows? But he didn't really look very good here. But again, he looked decent when he was out there with Carolina. But your thoughts on the backup QB situation?
Pat Sherman. It's because of Pat Sherman. Pat Sherman out there. Like that's the reason why he looking the way that he did. You know what I'm saying? And it probably is a matter of scheme of what they chose to ride with. Because I mean, that's basically how it ended up turning out anyway. So the man just knows what he's doing. But what was your question after that?
Just talking about the backup QB situation. Is Webb your number 2? Is Whedon your number 2? Or should they be cutting one of those guys and looking for someone else who may become available on the open market?
Man, I hope to God that the Ravens let RG3 go. Because if we can get RG3 still, if we could still land him somehow, go get him. Like if he doesn't get on this roster as a solid backup, and I know Ravens really wasn't a team for him to do what they really don't want him to do in this scheme. Him having some new shit, and if they end up going to his own scheme, then he definitely gonna be he'll definitely be good if they can do that type of shit, because he'll have the time to do everything that he wants to do if he needs to come in the game for some unforeseen reason.
Shout out, because somebody brought up a good point. Is actually going to be the next thing we was going to segue into, and that is one Aaron Donald. But yes, my fault, Chase. I'm gonna send that after the stream. I slacked off yesterday, and then I hadn't sent them out today, so I'll do that immediately after the stream. Make sure y'all get that, because if you are in the first fantasy league, I'm gonna send those emails out again. We will be Sunday, the live stream. We'll be doing the live stream for the first league on Sunday during the sauce. And what I'm gonna do is, if I don't get the full responses for the other folks I've sent the invites to, then I'll switch the.
Say it with me. If you got hate in your heart, let it out, Clayton.
if you if you in that second sauce fantasy, then and you've already confirmed, then I may end up sending you an invite to the first. If you haven't confirmed that first one, I think it's like 4 people who haven't yet, and I've sent out the invites a couple of times. Then I may swap it up so that way we have a full live go, and then we're going to do that the draft live for that Sunday evening on the Sauce. So Sauce Nation will definitely get to be a part of that. Y'all can talk y'all shit about picks and all that other good stuff.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have the best draft. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh, we gonna find out. But
no, you gonna find out, not me. You gonna find out.
I was supposed to win it all last year, but you know, Phoenix be cheating, and who was it? Matthew Roberts came through. We all want to say, but but I want to talk about a little bit outside of the cuts. You know, I want to talk about getting paid. In the words of the wise philosopher Young Dolph, get paid, young nigga, get paid. Aaron Donald collected a check today. And we'll be collecting a very nice check for the next 7 years. So we got an extension for, I want to say 6 years, $134 million, but that pans out to like over the next 7 years, he's going to be averaging a little bit slightly over $20 million a year. 7 years, $141 million over the next few years. Now, we know we have a defensive situation in our own right. The Raiders, they looking like they giving up on their whole defensive situation, which I think is going to be, the Raiders are going to collapse, but fuck them. We ain't worried about them. Clowney. What does that look like for Jadeveon Clowney? We're seeing some contracts get done right here before the beginning of the season. I want to know if you think that with him looking healthy, he's saying he's been healthy the whole camp. It was just the Texans wanted to take it slow with him. Does Jadeveon Clowney get paid before the season begins? And if not, when does he get paid? And does he see Aaron Donald money? I'd like to know your thoughts on that.
I don't think he'll get quite Aaron Donald money. He'll probably get somewhere between the 16, maybe the 18.5 range, somewhere in there. That's what I see this team offering him. I don't really see them offering him any more than that. I mean, if they do, that's their prerogative. And at the end of the day, I'm cheering for him. Get as much money as you possibly can. Because I think it's going to be no question.
You ain't boxing no one. Send that location.
That's the proclamation I got for Jadeveon Clowney. He'll be the best player on the defense, period. Like it's gonna be known who's the best player on the defense. Like it ain't gonna be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It'll be Jadeveon Clowney. I forgot where the hell I was gonna go with this next. Forgot where the hell I was gonna go. I forgot what I was talking about before I said what I just said. I hate when that shit. Yeah, but anyway, Chinny can go ahead and segue on his. If I figure it out, I'll bring it back up.
Okay. We'll cover one thing. Let me catch a couple of these little texts off the sauce line real quick. One says, is there any CB that the Texans would like to pick up from the waivers? Like I said, I haven't really been keeping up with who's been cut yet, so I think tomorrow we'll have a better answer for that question. Joshua, shout out, says that Shermer's coaching the Giants now, so it's actually Norv Turner's the OC in Carolina. Okay. So he hooked up with Norv and he found a way to work it with it.
Norv Turner, my bad. That's who I meant. Okay. Norv Turner.
And
Norv Turner and Pat Shermer both doing their thing, though.
Okay. And Tenny asked me, I say, put an address on it, man. He say he trying to smell the cologne, man. But your thoughts on Clowney getting paid and, you know, just your feelings, like, will he see Aaron Donald money? What kind of cash do you think he will see? And when will he get paid? If he gets paid at all, how do you think the Texans are going to handle that situation? Because a lot of people have been saying that they've been waiting for Donald or Mac to set the market. It's looking like Mac finna get his market elsewhere, and Donald has gotten his cash. So what do you feel like the payday for Clowney is looking like?
The payday for Clowney is looking like these hands on sale, Asmel. And if you want to catch some, come down to Toxic City, Texas, at Trade Winds, and you can catch this cologne. All right, baby? I'm going to tell you right now, your Metro card ain't going to work. You won't have to catch you a ride down here, baby. As far as Clowney goes, I got to put it like this, man. He ain't getting no less than $110 million contract. I would expect it between 110 to 118 would be viable. They're probably going to have to word it very specially because just the way this team is probably going to approach him will probably be in a bitch way. I'm not going to lie to y'all. They're probably going to put a lot of that money either into incentives or on the back end of his contract, something easy for them to get out of if he gets hurt or if he doesn't perform quite the way they want him to. But if he doesn't get that money from us, you can expect a $110 million contract coming from somebody else in this league. Either the Houston Texans will pay him or someone else will pay him. This is all going to be handled. I mean, if we get knocked out the playoffs, we get knocked out the playoffs. If we go all the way to the glory land and get that Lombardi, I mean, anything's possible at the beginning of the year. At the end of the year, either we're crying or we're celebrating. So, you know, the fact is they're not going to do the contract during this season. Clowney is already prepared to go out there and prove what he's worth. And I think this is a contract year for Clowney, and he is going to absolutely kill it. I mean, this is a must-win situation, to quote Joe Buck. And Clowney is there to fucking rise to the occasion. Why are you stuttering,
ho? Send the exact address.
Because I had a taste of your mama ass, Mel. That's why.
Well, damn. Can't we all just get along, from the words of the wise? Right, I don't know how wise he was after that beatdown, but Roddy kick. But got a couple of texts on the sauce line today. We're gonna open up the sauce line up for your calls, man. Matter of fact, I'm tripping, man. So y'all gotta remind me, and I haven't had the chat up since I kind of changed it up a little bit, so that's my fault. So if I'm missing some of your interesting comments, I apologize. Got a comment saying, Will Fuller be ready to play against the Patriots? Dude can't start the season to save his life. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that it's not a major, because I want to say it was a hammy issue. And, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, the new strength and conditioning coordinator, maybe they're just taking precautions and they don't want to exaggerate it or over-aggravate it. I'm sorry, not exaggerate it. Shit. We exaggerate a lot of shit, but don't want to aggravate the shit. And I'm hoping that's just the case. I'm hoping they'll just be cautious, like, okay, you already know this guy's on the team. We already know what he's capable of doing. He's been showing it all preseason. No reason to go out there and let him put any strain on it and not be available for the Patriots. But y'all not lying about, you know, hey, the dude does have a – when it comes to the Patriots, I saw somebody else mention that earlier. When it comes down to the Patriots, why is there always an issue with Will Fuller when it comes to Patriots playing time? That's definitely a concern. Is he afraid of Tom Brady? Is he afraid of what the Patriots can do? But do y'all have any comments on Will Fuller and, you know, his health situation versus the Patriots, or even starting off the beginning of the season?
I'm not thinking like that at all. Like, that's. I mean, I can understand your concerns for for feeling that way, but I don't personally feel that way. I mean, I feel he's going to be able to do something totally different than what we've ever seen in this franchise. Is two receivers that are a deadly threat in this league, and it's going to take a whole lot to stop them, you know, along with other shit. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot to look forward to. And if we see all the things, the necessary pieces getting put together, and it stays cohesive, and you find a way to get guys like Covington, Blackson, and Heath in the middle, and guys on the edge sucking up all that shit in the middle of an offense, like, why not? I think the scheme is what's really going to matter this year. That's what it looks like. It looks like they want to play a certain scheme. They want to be faster. They want to do this. They want to do that. And you can tell by how they bring their guys out on the first string, especially the way that the first string was playing against the Rams. Like, okay, all right, I see what she's trying to do. They not biting on play actions and shit like that. Like, Kareem Jackson is just overline putting himself in the right position. If a play needs to be made, he can make it. Like, he gets to see that part of the field now, you know. So it looks like they want to play enhanced to, at least on the defensive side, to everybody's strengths. That's what it looks like to me. So it looks like Jadeveon Clowney is about to be out on the island with J.J. Watt or whoever the hell, or however he wants to scheme this shit. Because we've been talking about schemes all season and what we would like to see as a fan base. But if this shit ends up coming to fruition, well, how I seen the strength and the way that these guys can block shit, shoot through gaps and shit like that, and these dudes are like 300. And you got guys like that on the edge to make plays on top of the middle linebackers bringing up, or a safety coming in the mix. Like, that's a whole lot for somebody to be game planning with. And Romeo Crennel, this is what he's doing. He about to have a whole lot of fun being the defensive head coach in this league. I mean, y'all gonna see what I'm saying. What pressure is just coming from nowhere. People shooting in gaps. People just shutting the backsides or runs off. Nobody's gonna be able to do nothing with this team if what I'm talking about comes to fruition, bro. Nobody's gonna be able to stop this shit.
Your thoughts on Fuller and his kind of early season injury history, and is that a concern going against the Patriots starting off the season too?
They haven't said it's a big concern. I mean, I'd have to go with the fact that Will Fuller probably was just stretching, felt some tightness, told the trainers said, all right, let's hold him out. Because this, like, honestly, this is just the way the Texans have been treating the players this offseason. If there's something going on that's a little fishy, they're not going to make them play. They're not going to put them out there and put product out on the field that could end up causing an injury. So until they say Will Fuller has a stressed hamstring or he's tweaked it in some way, I would not worry about it. I think Will Fuller is going to be there week one. I even have a funny feeling that Kiki's going to be there week one. And this new offense, I think, is going to be like a hybrid zone. I think this is a copycat league. I wouldn't be surprised that Bill O'Brien takes a little piece of what Andy Reid's doing down there. If you look at all their weapons are really fast. And we got some fast weapons. They're not as fast as what they got in Kansas City. But if you look at them and you look at what we have, we could copy them and what they're planning on doing and what they've been trying to do. And I think that's something Bill O'Brien might try.
I got one question. The sauce line is open for your call. Let me put the right appropriate headgear in, because y'all know I'd be telling y'all the sauce line open and don't be even listening and shit. So, players fuck up, but we always fix it. So that's what counts. I have a question for Heidi. Why does Will Fuller have to have a stupid chest? Like, how does that work? How's that anatomically possible?
Heidi trying to for that green card.
She want to get fuller. Ain't that a bit? A couple of texts on the sauce line. Chandler says, do you see Kareem Jackson getting cut? I'm just predicting. I don't see it happening. Like I say, from what they've just been saying with him at safety, I mean, they like what they're seeing from him. And then again, if Kjo is not going to be, if he's going to be kind of sketchy in the health department, even though he is the GOAT, Kjo, no crow for Kjo, you have Kareem who can play corner too. So he gives you that versatility. They want him to stay at safety, but if there are any health issues, if there are any depth issues when it comes down to the cornerback position. You got Kareem can move back to corner. You got the young guy Reed, which I think they have a little bit of faith in, even though I think if he comes in early in the season, he'll get tested a little bit. But I think he'll be able to hold his own. So I don't see Kareem Jackson getting cut. Winker Tenney, your thoughts on the possibility of Kareem Jackson getting cut? You got anything on that?
No, it's not happening, bro.
Never
not
ever.
What they saying and not how he's analyzed in the field. No, it's
dude,
not
I hated Kareem's rookie year, but no, he has been a complete turnaround for a player.
Yeah,
he's not the best in the league, but he shows up for us and he gives us 100%. And Kareem has been willing to switch positions. No player really does that willingly as well as he has.
His years at corner have prepped him to be a perfect safety. Like, he knows the shit that he can't do at safety anymore. He knows he can't try to play bump and run and press cut. I mean, bump and run, honestly, is the best thing that he's good at. He can play some zone and shit like that. He can play man against certain quarterbacks, and he can blitz off of the edge and that type of shit. But that's all the shit you need a good safety to do. And him at strong safety, being able to do everything I'm talking about makes him perfect. And he can sneak behind defenders on blitzes and shit like that because he's so small. One thing I can say about Kareem Jackson when he's in those type of situations, he knows how to bend off the edge and shoot towards the quarterback and get a good tackle in on him. That's what I can say that is a good part of his game that nobody ever really talks about. But it's something that's not going unnoticed, and because I'm talking about right now, like, I had to bring that shit up, and he can do that.
Got a very interesting question on the sauce, and I got a couple of good questions. This one may be slightly off topic, and this one is based for you, Toxic City Tenny. The question is, let me make sure I read it as it was written so that I don't mistake it. But it says... Is that Jim Beam Budweiser any good? I saw it at the store.
It is okay. I mean, it's not exactly worth $9. So, I mean, if you want a good taste in Budweiser, yeah, it tastes better than regular asshole Budweiser, fucking all sudsy and shit. This one has actually got a full flavor to it, so I'll give it as a good lager.
I'll be sending the invoice to Budweiser and telling them to make sure they send you the check for advertising their beverage.
Oh, I used to work for Budweiser. They some hoes.
Oh, goddamn. Ain't that a bitch? That's fucked up. Got a couple other good texts here. Let's see. Let's see. Says, how do y'all think Angelo Blackson did? Because he surprised me, and I think he deserves a spot on the 53-man roster. I agree, because Blackson actually showed some flashes, and I mean that D-line depth as a whole. Kilgo was probably out of the worst. I mean, he wasn't even bad himself, but I think it just came to a point where you're gonna have to let go of somebody. You're not gonna like any of the names you end up letting go on that line. But your thoughts on that round table? And got another text.
I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, him and Joe Heath and Carlos Watkins been going off, and that's why I immediately thought those two types of specifically, and they're gonna end up making this team. I ended up saying that shit on Twitter, like when I first seen it. I was like, it's from the same fact. It's showing that we need more corner there. We need that, and at the same time, value for the positions like wide receiver, and narrow this shit down to where we got the best talent. If you got to shave it down a little bit and put depth somewhere else to be stronger, why not take advantage of it? That's how you're supposed to scheme anyway.
I think Blackson really, like, when he showed up and really made Carlos Watkins really try to earn a spot on this team. Like for a second there, when I saw Blackson flashing and I wasn't seeing Watkins, I was like, there's a possibility Watkins might be walking. But, I mean, I saw him, too, through the preseason. I saw what he could do. But Blackson is definitely one of those guys that he's got the same build as DJ Reader and Joe Heath and fucking even a little bit like Christian Covington. Those guys are all built the same. They are run stoppers, and they do not move easy. Yeah, and there's like few offensive linemen that can really handle these guys. And I mean, like, have the capability of controlling where these guys go if they run the ball. So I mean, Blackson, I mean, Jesus Christ, I mean, it's like we're at a gold mine of just defensive tackles and defensive ends, and it's a wonderful time just to be looking at this team.
Another good question here. Now, shout out to Josh. Says, I know this is off topic. But it says, but if any of the roundtable watch college football, what's the one game you'll be watching tomorrow? I'll have my eyes. Only game I'm actually having any kind of concern with. I don't really give a fuck about college football, but I will be keeping an eye on the U of H and Rice game. And I already know how that's going to be. It's going to be a one-sided affair. But getting a chance to kind of watch Ed Oliver for his last season in college is going to be very interesting. And go Cougs, really. That's all that matters. Outside the rest of it, I really don't care that much about college football, honestly.
Game, that's who I'm watching, because Ed Oliver, I have him as the type I want to watch him play. I definitely want to watch him play. If I had to watch any game, that'll definitely be the one.
Yeah, I can't even watch my team fucking UT. I'm not going to spend money on that fucking channel. So I mean, I catch University of Texas games whenever I can, but the Longhorns got a lot of rebuilding too. So I mean, it's a few years before they'll be competitive.
Squirming Tom Herman, goddamn him. You know what I'm saying? I used to fuck with Tom, but not no more, man. Ever since he did my boys at at Cougar High, just because they be hating, did them bad. Says, what's up, Honcho? This OG77013. What's the motherfucking deal? So, do you think we should go after Earl Thomas? I think what they're going to want for Earl is too much, and I don't know if they're going to be trying to give Earl his funds. So, I would probably say no. I think that we're good with what we have, and I think we should be more focused on trying to keep the Honey Badger, if he has a good season, and let them stay here and develop with the young Reed, and I think we stick with what we got, for the most part. Roundtable, your thoughts on going after Earl Thomas?
I just got a notification from NFL Network talking about it's a bunch of teams trying to get at Earl Thomas right now. I mean, if we were going at him and something happened, that would be crazy, but I doubt it. Because you had ample enough opportunity to get them if you really wanted them. Like, the cost has been relatively cheap. Now it's going to end up going up because too many other teams are interested now. So you're not going to be able to really outbid anybody, and that's not really your game anyway. So you don't want to. I don't think they're looking at rosters like they that type of competitive. I just.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're thick as thieves too as safety. So I mean, there's no reason really to go get a Earl Thomas. Maybe a cornerback, but maybe Earl Thomas now.
If you're gonna get anything, at least get a number 2 corner who could end up being a number 1 on this damn team, because that's what it's gonna end up being.
Yeah, that's definitely the move you have to make. Got another good one. Let me see here. Let me see. We'll talk about that one in a second. I see you, Zach. We'll discuss that one just briefly, because I do want to see some other opinions on that one. Do you see JT Barrett being cut? I'm not sure, because again, like I said, I haven't really kept up with the depth chart on too many other teams, unless it's been teams that we've been up against. So I can't guarantee that. But if so, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how he's looked. And like I said, because I have not been keeping track of him, so I don't want to say, he's going to get cut and let's go after him or anything like that, because, again, like I said, I'm not familiar with how his game has translated so far in the NFL. And, like I said, I'm comfortable with what we have right now. I mean, it would just have to be a solid name that just happens to fall into the market for us to go after. But I think I'm content with what we got.
I was reading just the other day that Byron Maxwell might be on the bubble for the Seahawks. So, I mean, that would be somebody from the Seahawks I wouldn't mind getting over here just to add a little bit more cornerback depth. And then I forget who it was, who his name is, but he's on the Vikings. They said he might be trade bait for a cornerback position. He was like their second round pick in 2016 or some shit. But I mean, going to a team that's thick with talent at those positions, that I would be totally on board with the Houston Texans doing it.
I'm definitely making a play for another coach. We've seen what the situation is. I'll be honest, I know a lot of people, have talked about Webster. One, he didn't play last night, and so I'm not saying that's a knock against him, because maybe, we were talking about getting ready and getting acclimated to the system. But I'm not just going to sit here and say I'm super excited about it. It's just, to me, it's a body pick because if you look at his career stats, again, if you don't like Kevin Johnson's done what he's done in half the time. You know what I mean? And basically better equal stats in half the number of games. So to me, that's why I say I'm not necessarily impressed with Kayvon Webster, you know, but I hope that I'm proven wrong. You know, I'll be more than happy to eat the crow if he does come out and shine, if he does contribute, and he's an asset to this team. But again, it's not like they spent a whole lot of money picking him up. But if there are opportunities to get a solid corner, somebody that you know can be not even necessarily a shutdown guy, but a solid player, because I think if you can get somebody who's just solid, they don't have to be a all-pro, but a solid corner along with this defense with their front seven, they're going to eat regardless. You know what I mean? It's like somebody else said, as long as you can cover good 5 seconds, like we Gucci, that defense is going to do what it needs to do. I mean, there's going to be lots of opportunities because there's going to be a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. So I mean, there are going to be a lot of opportunities for turnovers with this team, with this defense. So I can't wait to see how that pans out. So I'll definitely be on board with trying to go after a solid corner if somebody comes available. And I think early in this season that there will be a lot of guys that are available. No, very interesting. And I didn't get the I saw that, so shout out to Voodoo Charlie. He said, actually, we talked about the Kaepernick situation, that they denied the NFL's request for dismissal and is going forward to arbitration. So that, in my opinion, is a good look because, you know, they've thrown lots of little sidetracking stories out there with the whole Kaepernick situation. I mean, and at this point, I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, what tells you that this was collusion to keep him out of – as soon as you saw on Madden that the name was blanked out, what reason – would you have for blanking out Kaepernick's name if there wasn't some type of memo, some type of notice from a higher up in the league saying, hey, you know, let's keep this situation quiet. If you're going to put this on here, don't play that. I don't think that anybody went in their own and just said, hey, let's just take this out and not mention it. So
that the dude that made the song that's actually on that and called them out, pushed them out, and they issued an apology and all kinds of shit. So they guilty as fuck when they did all of that. The moment that they did all of that and saying that it was a problem because Kaepernick was a problem and he wasn't even in the league. And this is happening on the game, so you told on yourself. Like, at the end of the day, the man gonna win this case. Bravo for him, man. That's all I
you know, say. You know what? You know what happened though was McNair gave a call over to EA and he goes, "No, now y'all listen here. Y'all don't want to go putting his name up in y'all's game and ruining your good name at EA. Please keep Kaepernick out of your name."
Great question from Jay Dizzle. What is the percentage chance that Shane Lechler retires a Texan instead of a Raider? I think that's a damn good question. Your thoughts on that?
This is like a 25% chance.
He really got the numbers for both teams, considering the time he was here. I mean, it's up to him, honestly. I mean, he did more with us, though.
Hey, I'm gonna put it like this. There's some things in this world you got to know that is as a truth. The Raiders fandom has more love for the players than we do.
Right.
And at the end of the day, if he wants a big celebration, he's going back home to the Raiders to sign the paper, take the pictures, and show up for a game.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If he goes anywhere, that's the only team he can go back to. The fact, if he was to go to any other team, then I would be like, "You wasting your time, bro." At least you know you have a huge fan base in Oakland. I mean, and if you didn't feel like doing that, boom, you can already retire. This is where you from. You got your house and shit like that. He like, I ain't trying to spend no money on no fucking house in Oakland. If I'm speaking from that perspective, man, I ain't fucking going to no. I've been home. I've been back home in Texas. I ain't paying no taxes and shit like that. Like, fuck out of here. I'm a move for just to go so I can. I'm already old as fuck. She already ready for me to sit down. I just want to drink my beer and shit like that. I want to go fishing and shit. Like, bro, you ain't got to stress your hamstring no more. Try to get tackles when the shit break down at some point in time. You don't have to worry about that. Trevor Daniels will take that mantle up and kick way better than you. You know what I'm saying? So don't feel bad about losing. If you one of these people that feel bad about losing Shane Lechler, trust me, we upgrade. Go look up
if you
kicking at UT at University of Tennessee.
Hey man, if you really want to answer from his mouth, go up around he's probably in Clear Lake or League City back there by El Lago and all that stuff in some fancy home. Easy to get to Kima, easy to get down to Galveston for some good fishing. And I'm telling you, if you want to go chill around a gas station, you'll probably run into him. He'll be the guy with the fish hook in his hat.
But yeah, I think that's a good one, man. I honestly think that because he spent more time with the Raiders, he probably goes as a Raider. But maybe he got love for the state, and so maybe he want to attach his name to Texas, because he did all that damage he did at A&M, and maybe he just wants to be a go down as a Texas boy and get his name in the Ring of Honor. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that could be it. Yeah, the Groot.
Best part about maybe he don't want to. He like, man, Gruden was here the fucking last time I was here. Like, I don't want to play with this
motherfucker. Always giving me cases of Corona. I don't even drink that shit.
He like, I know the way this team built. He like, bro, I know when they got to see the Texans, they gonna smash them. And he already know inside out. He been looking at this team all season. He already know we gonna smash the Raiders if we got to play the Raiders again. We gonna smash them. And we got Trevor Daniels, and they lost Marquette King. They're done if they ever play us again. I want to play Oakland again so bad. I love playing Oakland. Honestly, like we play Oakland, they always give us a good ass game. Like honestly, like when we play Oakland, shit can either go their way or go our way. You know what I'm saying? They always give us a good ass game, but it won't be no more good games. After that type of situation, and if they couldn't get a guy like Shane Leckler, it makes their case against us even worse.
All right. I see y'all having a sauce donation festival going on in here. Look, send me some sauce, goddamn. I need some sauce too. Shit. It was a good question. Lupe Frias. I think that's a new name. I hadn't seen that one before. If it's been a while, what's up? Welcome to the sauce. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man. Hey, look, it makes me feel good. It'll help me raise my self-esteem. Oh, and while we talking about it, man, make sure y'all hit that staysaucy.com if you want to get some of that fresh sauce merch. If y'all want to get the mug, the last day to order the mug is today. I might let it go through Labor Day weekend for the holiday, and then on Labor Day I'll cancel it out. So if y'all want to get the mug, this will be your last weekend to access the mug, the limited edition Sauce Sports mug with the best sports show in Houston on the bottom, and hits that staysaucy.com to get all that fresh sauce gear, and you can still get the OG. Yeah, Persuasion did the unboxing, and then like I said, you can still get the OG sauce shirt. The original drip is available at staysaucy.com. I had a couple people ask me about that one, the Dripping Skyline, so that one's still available there. But here is the deal. Say it ain't tricking if you got it. It'd be like that sometime. But that was a good question about Shane Leckler. Let's say, is this the most surprising cut? Oh man, I didn't ignore Lupe. I said I was going to read Lupe's comment and didn't even read it. Ain't that a bitch? It asked, would you rather sign Khalil Mack over Clowney to an extension? No. I mean, Clowney put in the work for this city, and so man.
The fuck?
Yeah,
Why do I need? Why would I want him on here when I know Jadeveon Clowney don't have the business?
Here's the deal, Voodoo. You say I got the 14-year-old Mexican mustache, but Mexican mustaches be thick at like 8 years old. They be looking like a full-grown man. You know what I'm saying? Start shaving at 7.5 and shit. So I mean, I got that fleek. My shit looking fleek. Now my mustache weak. My facial hair game is definitely a little off. That's why I'm gonna be growing that shit out. One side be super thick, the other side be looking raggedy and shit. So that's why I be trying to keep that shit cut. But fuck you for noticing that shit. Go ahead with your thoughts.
What was I saying? What was I talking about? Yeah, like honestly, bro, just seeing him do shit like that, man, and the way he handling business, and like I want him to be able to speak, because he called Blake Bortles trash way before Jalen Ramsey said anything, and ain't nobody they blew that shit up for a little bit, but they didn't talk about that the same way that they talk about what's it called, because at the end of the day, people was agreeing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing to be said. He was telling the truth. We know the reasons that they made the playoffs, and it wasn't because of Blake Bortles. It was all because of the run game and the defense. He made some plays here and there, and he did everything he could not to fuck it up because they purposely took the ball out of him. That was on purpose, regardless of what anybody tries to say. We all know that's for reasons. Stop playing games.
Yeah, fucking Bortles is trash. Fucking Clowney's got more fire than Khalil Mack. And Khalil Mack, right, honestly, after his DPOY, he really hasn't done shit.
Just off the strength of how he played against Brady. Like, the Oakland Raiders don't stand a chance to beat Brady. They ain't got the offense, the quarterback, or the defense to contend with Brady no time soon. And they definitely don't have the head coach who ain't coached in a fucking decade, and he's supposed to do something. Come on, be serious. Like, honestly, and like, Clowney eat against the better competition on a consistent basis, and he shows up big. Why? And he on a team with a better quarterback. Why would I want him over Khalil Mack? Like, let me put that in his proper perspective. He's on a better team. He has on a team with a better upside, and he has the chance to lead the division like for a long period of time. And he's so young. He can play for us another 8 years. That would put him at 32 years old, and he would still be dominating in the league. Why would I don't think Khalil Mack is going to end up having that type of career. I honestly believe Jadeveon Clowney is.
You say something about bringing the police officer back to the Kush deal. I don't even remember that one. If he want to come back, that's on him. Look, he's entering the danger zone. But like I said, got a couple other good texts, and then we'll wind it up here in just a little bit. But yeah, Voodoo Saucy, best cut price saves almost $4.5 million. I didn't even realize he was getting paid that much. Good grief. I mean, so even with some of the things, they're making some good money moves. You know, even if some of the names are suspect, and I figured Leckler would be a cut, because I think Leckler would have got like $2 million this year. Old buddy's his signing bonus was more than what Trevor Daniels going to get paid for the entire year, because I think Leckler's signing bonus was like $600,000, and then Trevor Daniels like $500,000 or something like that. So.
I think once they at 1.8 or some shit like that, he was making less than $2 million.
I see Joshua
that's crazy.
Saying fuck him Friday, fuck the U of H financial aid office already. You know, hey, yeah, I agree with you on that, man. Fuck them. Goddamn. Ferocious says, go after Dobbs for backup. Tough guy with an accurate deep ball. I don't know, but I don't know if they gonna want to come off of him. I don't know.
Dobbs is Steelers, right?
Steelers.
Nah.
You know, Big Ben been halfway pondering retirement in and out every year. I think they may actually want to try to keep him around for a little bit. Do any thoughts on that? But if that opportunity was available, would you entertain going after Dobbs for a backup for Watson?
Nah, man. I think we could get a player like Dobbs in later drafts. Like, Dobbs is not like a special kind of skill set guy. I mean, once Ben goes down, he's going to be a guy that steps in and services them for a while, but he's not the guy.
They're saying that Dobbs is actually on the trade block. Oh, okay, so I guess they don't give a fuck about Dobbs, and they don't want to keep him around. So how much I know. I'll leave a crow feather on that one. You know, I ain't know. You know, again, tell you players fuck up. We always bounce back. We said, but not so, because there's no development for QBs yet. Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna be developing anybody, it needs to be Watson. If you're gonna get anybody else, it needs to have somebody with a little bit of experience in the league. I don't think you want to get into a situation where you just put another young guy right behind him. But I know earlier was mentioned, you know, if RG3 is available, I would entertain it, because he looked good earlier in the preseason. I don't know how he looked throughout the entire preseason. I know they're gonna want to go probably with Lamar Jackson after spending that pick on him. But if he becomes available for the right price, I would definitely entertain that. Got a fucking Friday. DeMarcus says, DeMarcus, fuck more for trading Rhino to go. Man, I want to talk about that for a second, man. Shout out to DeMarcus one for bringing that up. And then somebody else had mentioned earlier, I said I was going to cover this, so let me make sure I give my love where it's due. Zach also commented on the Rhino trade. I'm telling you, that was unexpected. I thought we were going to be stuck with Rhino for the next couple of years or whatever. I don't know if it was at another year left or 2 years, but either way, regardless of what you're trading for, at least you're getting somebody who can give you some type of production. Because Rhino got to the point where he was worthless. Unless you were playing the Timberwolves, you know, he was good for one Timberwolves game out of the year, and then outside of that, he was basically trash, man. I mean, he I don't know what happened to him. I don't know how he fell all the way off. Rhino was a fan favorite at one point, and then it just seems like the game just fell off a cliff. I don't know if it was a mental aspect. I don't know if it was maybe a chemistry situation, because I remember, you know, when they thought he was going to be traded the year before last. Prior to last year, you know, they were saying nobody went to his wedding, and, you know, shit, NBA players be going to weddings on other people's teams and shit like that. So I think they said it was either Ariza or one of them guys might have been like the only one who went to his wedding. The rest of the team didn't even show up because I think they were already expecting him to get cut, traded, or whatever it is. It had to be some type of little chemistry issue. But my thing is, I don't really give a fuck what the issue was. He's no longer here. Brandon Knight, yes, he has been victimized by everyone in the NBA, or at least some of the NBA's best players. I think he did catch a little bit of poster action from Capella. But Capella's one of the better centers in the league, so we give him props. And then you know, the Kyrie situation, I think LeBron got him bad too. But hey, you know, you bounce back. You come back strong. You don't let it break you down. You know what I mean? Shit. And old buddy, the Marquise Chris guy, again, I'm not expecting a whole lot of him, but he's a tall guy that got some hops, you know. Shit, he'll be able to eat, man, with the y'all still got some beef, man. But like I say, you know, the Marquise Chris guy, he's got some hops, and like, again, you talking about, you know, I'm gonna say Lob City 2.0, because, you know, Lob City never went anywhere remotely close to anything worthwhile. But Clutch City 2.0 will be back, and I think a guy like that can add a little bit of contribution. You know, just again, you know, another center, another little bit more depth, a taller guy who can hopefully get you some rebounds, who can score a little bit, and again, you can catch alley oops in this offense. You'll be all right. So I think that we're gonna be good with the additions that we have, and I still think that one or two of these guys can be used as pieces to acquire something else. Don't ever think Morey has stopped making moves. Morey doesn't stop making moves. They put the deadline handcuffs on him. Then he's still plotting on some. He's still dreaming about making moves after that point. I know, Tenny, I know you say you don't watch a whole lot of basketball, but do you guys have any thoughts or any opinions on that?
Fans are happy for him to be gone, and just from what I can feel off the pulse of the people I know, I think it's a good move. I mean, if the fans for sure want a guy off the team, and if the chemistry seems as bad as it was, and quite honestly, this is from outside looking in, I mean, you could tell it's a chemistry thing, and if I could see it, then obviously it's going on with the team. So I mean, it's good for a guy like that to be gone. I don't know about the players they picked up. I was reading what Wise had said, and I'm guessing they could be pretty good and they could be helpful for the team. And whenever you can win on a trade like that, that's awesome. And ask Mel, whenever your mom comes over, that's going to be her cup.
Wink, your thoughts on the trade of Rhino and the moves that are being made?
Man, more the man, bro. Like, I knew something was going to shake, but now, I mean, I'm just good. Like, the fact it just took too damn long, but it happened. It's off the books. I mean, what else can you say? Like, the man is gonna make whatever happen. Like, the only thing that would have topped this shit off is had he got somebody. If he would have got LeBron James or Kawhi Leonard, you know, when all of that shit was going on. That's the only thing that could have made this off season better than what it already was. And and then the fact that they reduced the shit. They reduced the shit before they got him up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And because I saw the numbers of the shit, and the shit was crazy. Like how they broke it down, like his contract and shit. Like before they got him up out of here, the shit was crazy. He ended up making like 15. Something else was like $1 million dead money here, such and such and such. It was just a bunch of crazy shit, and it's just like, bro, these are the type of GMs that franchises look for across sports. Like, this is the type of friend, like, dudes, he out here making moves, man, because he want to win. You know, he got the support of so many people. You know, it's got a good public image. You know, you can eat good here, all kind of good shit, make money here, live here, get you a nice house. It's just the place on the come up. And like I don't know. People, you got people moving here left and right from all over the place, you know, but they get no love. We get money. You can get you the best house ever. You know what I'm saying, for a little bit of nothing if you got some bread, and it's just like this place just gets shit on, even in sports wise, and it's unfortunate.
Okay. Very interesting text we just received. I had to actually do a little bit of background research, so I apologize, but I had to confirm that. It says, why don't we get Antonio Garcia? He was just released by the Jets, and I wasn't super familiar. I'm gonna be honest. You know, I don't always hear a lot of Hispanic names in the game of football, and so I have to. I'm not super familiar with him, so I had to check it out. But with that being said, from what I'm seeing, that he's a tackle and he's trying to bounce back though, and this is why I would say no, is because we just picked up a tackle who had some health issues with Henderson, and apparently they said he's trying to bounce back from having blood clots in his lungs, and so he's trying to get back, you know, in the football position. And I'm not saying that, you know, to be biased against him or anything, but we already got one guy that we dealing with. Even though Henderson is looking like he's going to be solid, except for the fact, you know, he just had the cancerous cyst removed. So, you know, things like that kind of make it a little questionable, you know, and you can't compare one man's health to another man's health. But, you know, I would just say being cautious with that, because we already got a guy that's kind of on the brink right now. So it would be interesting, but I'm sure there'll be a couple other interesting tackles that'll be available. But I would just probably pump the brakes on that one if it was me personally. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, or if you have a comment on Antonio Garcia being released from the Jets.
Don't know who that is, so I don't have nothing to say.
Yeah, I got nothing on that dude. I mean, first time hearing him right here on the sauce. Get your news right here, baby.
Yeah, and it's looking like it's about that time. Since I see, look, the sauce line been open, ain't nobody call in. We got plenty of text though, so I appreciate everyone who has been showing love. I appreciate all the super saucy super chat love, even though y'all been in here beefing. Look, it's a holiday weekend. What y'all beefing for, man? Y'all need to go hit the beach and relax, sit back, relax, sip on what is that, a Jim Beam Budweiser? You know what I'm saying? Okay. It says Jay Dizzle. My fault. I had you muted there. You can repeat that if you want to.
Yeah, Asmel, if you want to come drink with me, I know you want to, buddy. Just come on down. Tex City, Texas. It's just exit Palmer, take it all the way down.
Already. And Jay Dizzle sends in a comment saying a couple of QBs that should be looked at. There's two QBs that I've liked in the preseason: Walker from the Colts and Davis from the Seahawks. He said to check them out and see if you agree. So I will take some time to do that. Good grief. It says check them out and see if you agree. So that's definitely, I'll take a look at those guys and tell y'all to take a look at those guys. And we'll definitely have some comments on them for tomorrow. I can't be fuck with y'all sauce. Y'all wild as a motherfucker. And let's see where we at in the current standings. But before we check the standings and all that, before I run it all up, anything y'all want to say before we get up out of here?
Man, just appreciate everybody that came through. Once again, you know, people was anticipating a good show early on. You know, it was like we was gonna be on the show tonight. Of course, you know, we came through as expected. Hope we gave everybody a good show. Shout out to everybody that came through, and keep supporting the sauce.
Already.
Absolutely, guys. I always love the chat, man. Y'all the best part about this whole damn thing. Even cutting up with Asmel. Y'all give my son some love, like all his comments. Go visit his channel. He's not done nothing yet, but I have faith in him. One day he's going to move out of this damn house and get a job, and I'll be proud of him. Asmel, I'm rooting for you, buddy.
Okay.
No. He's a business owner. That's what he told me today. He said he's a business owner.
Selling his mom's oregano is not a business. Okay, Asmel, quit lying to these people.
He a business owner. Well, I'm telling him he a business owner.
All right. right. Hey, oregano, what type of oregano we talking about legal oregano? We talking about that, that urban oregano. What kind of oregano we talking about there? Now, I ain't been fucking with it. I'm trying to stay strong, stay standing. But again, like
was this just supposed to be like a cleanse, like you were supposed to be out for a while, or what?
No, I'm saying
you just wanted to chill out.
I'm setting myself a goal, so I have a personal goal that I must achieve via the sauce / the den, and once I reach that goal, then I feel like it'll be sufficient because, like I said, I want to be, a little bit more clear-headed because for a little bit there, I was definitely getting sloppy with the sauce. It was not up to par. I felt like I could do a better performance. So,
trust me, man. I dip and dab myself. I don't stick in the game too long.
Yeah. So you gotta be in, you gotta be out. So like I said, I'm just staying clean and clear and under control. I don't know if is that a fucking deodorant fucking saying or some shit like clean and clear. I don't know what that's clear. It's probably other stuff.
Yeah, it's secret, I think.
Oh goddamn, I had to keep it secret. But man, I want to say, man, I just want to say thank y'all to everybody in the sauce. Oh, and a little bit of shameless self promotion. First, go hit that staysaucy.com. 2, I ain't even got on this thing. I gotta set it up. But again, like I say, we'll have the Sauce Sports badge shirts. The official shirts, we'll be doing those for, like I said, I'll take orders for those up until the Patriots game. So if you want to order one of those, just go to paypal.me/Sauce Sports and send $25. And make sure you put your information in the notes so I can have your address where to ship it. And then we'll make sure to be getting those done because, like I said, we'll get those printed up and everything right after the Patriots game and be shipping those out. So make sure you get those. We'll probably release those maybe once or twice during the season. I'm thinking the beginning of the season and then again around the bye week. So make sure you get yours. Represent the sauce and the freshest of Sauce Sports shirts. Or if you don't want a shirt, man, go hit the staysaucy.com. Like I said, you got pillows. You can rest your head when you're tired. We got mugs at the Zazzle link. That'll be, like I say, we'll do those for the rest of the week and we'll extend it a couple of days. So if you want to get the limited edition mug, we have beach towel. Shout out to McVice. McVice, I think, got the beach towel act. So let me know how that's working for you because that's pretty dope. So shout out to McVice. He copped the beach towel. Like I said, got the Sauce Sports flags. I think I'm gonna grab me one of those. A couple other items. So like I say, if you want to represent the sauce in a variety of ways, make sure you hit the staysaucy.com. It's plenty. Even got socks. If your feet a little funky, go get you some Sauce Sports socks. You know what I'm saying? Wash your feet before you put them on though, so they last longer and all that good shit. But again, like I said, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been fucking with it. Shout out for the fuck you, without the fuck you, fuck 'em Friday. You know what I'm saying? I apologize. I didn't even realize there was a call. If you wanna call back, I'll take your call real quick. It was that's a good question to say. If I had to choose one personally, if it came down to Webb or Whedon, I wanted to say initially my thoughts are Whedon was more accurate starting off the preseason, but it looked like Webb was making more plays before it was all said and done. Like with those when the game was on line, like, because I felt like Webb was putting more of the pressure situations, in the game situations, making that crucial drive. And I think Webb showed me a little bit more that when the pressure got turned up, that he was able to kind of get us in position. Now, we had Nick Rose broke toes, fucking up the kicks, Mr. Wide Right himself. But I would have to say, I think to keep continuity, I may have to say Webb, simply because of the mobility that you're going to give with Watson. I think that, that line would be more familiar with that play style and be more adapted to that, as opposed to, Whedon sitting in the pocket. But I feel like overall Whedon does deliver a better ball. So I'd probably have to end up going with Webb on that one. I would definitely have to end up going with Webb on that one. And then that's it. Go ahead.
Because when the game is on the line, you gonna be in position. Like the throws he made at the end of the game, and that one on the outplay he got right before Rose missed that easy ass kick that any normal punter, Randy Bullock would have hit that punt. Like he would have hit that kick. Like that's how easy it was, and we all know how horrible Randy Bullock is, and so do the fucking Cincinnati Bengals. They know, and because of him, we've won playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Literally, we went to the playoffs really because of him. But man, like that's a different type of situation.
Yeah, man. Webb just performs better in this system than Wheaton does. Like Wheaton's okay. We saw what we saw from Wheaton last year. That's the extent of what you can see from Wheaton. There's not a whole lot. Webb is just going to be a performer. I mean, there's no Deshaun Watson, but I mean, I would trust Webb to win more games than Wheaton.
And honestly, he has a big arm, so we know he can put it down the field. We know that. Then you have the other situation where the line and the offensive line and the weapons that he's using is way better. Like it wasn't like, I mean, I know what Brandon Weeden looks like with the first team offense, and he looks damn good. He looks like he does in the first and second game. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, if you really don't have, you know, that type of talent in front of you or to play with, then he's not going to look right. But it just goes to show, at least we know he'll look decent enough to win us a game or two if he has to be inserted in the lineup, either one of these quarterbacks. So I wanted both. All three of them had to be picked up regardless.
Oh shit! I got myself muted and shit. But again, like I said, I was trying to give old limping Ken. I was gonna give old limping Ken, you know, a chance to get in. He called, and you know, I missed his call. You know, I be trying to. You see, he over there tying up shoes and carrying backpacks again and shit. You know what I'm saying? I told him about that shit. Look, he didn't got the call. He like, fuck the sauce line. You know, female call. I got to see what she want. I ain't gonna do my boy Ken bad like that. He been working on his. He been working on the simp game. You know, he trying to be a part-time pimp. You know, he ain't a full-time employee yet. You know, it is what it is. But with that being said, mi amigos, my friends, mi sauce compadres, I appreciate y'all for staying tuned. We got a good solid hour 45 in. We'll be in the den at 10. I forgot what today's topic is about, but I remember by the time the den comes around. We'll be back at it tomorrow, man. We'll figure out the full extent of all these cuts. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock, we'll have plenty more to talk about. Hey, tell your friends, family, Texans fans that fuck with the sauce, fuck with the Rockets, fuck with the Stros, you know. For the most part, whatever Hector's around, we talk Stros and Dynamo, you know, because he's A1 on that. But, again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all for holding down the flavor. So with that being said, gonna chuck up a deuce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. And we out. Oh, I gotta tell y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. Y'all stay saucy. We out.